So Bedford and I are out in the garden doing a little bit of a tidy up at the moment because we need to get rid of some dead things and put them on the compost. And I found, to my surprise, this in one of my pots. Now I did grow runner beans last year, so I shouldn't be too surprised to see a bean ready for planting. And I realised that where I left some pods on the plant last year, but don't grab me, he wants to play. There's some pods here, and they all have beans in them, so I can keep these and plant them again this year. I've still got more pods to collect as well. I think there's some more in here, so we can find some. There we go, look at that. Runner beans ready for planting. And it was just a really strong sign to me because I wasn't coming out here to do that, wasn't expecting to find that. It's a bit of a surprise, but it tells me that we're collecting the ideas at the moment, getting the beans ready to plant them, so it's going to be time for the new beginning soon. It's time to tidy up the old, get ready to plant the new, and look out for the cat attacking your leg. Betty. Bedford. Funny boy. I'm back inside. Bedford is making his way in after a quick bathroom break. I've got my beans. Beautiful. I'm really pleased because I wasn't expecting there to be any beans. I wasn't actually sure how to save beans, and apparently you just leave the pods on the plant and that'll do it. I do wonder because I do like to save seeds, as you guys may know. I've got some chitting potatoes over here, some garlic, which didn't grow very well last year. I always save my seeds. I have cucumbers from 2023, squash seeds, they're from 2022. I don't know if they're still any good, but I do save them every year. Sprouting broccoli from 2021. Who knows if they're still good? Spaghetti squash seeds from 2022. Most of these I planted last year. I even kept my plum seeds from my plum tree. These are coriander seeds that I harvested from a coriander that I grew. These are marigold seeds. They always look very funny and spiky, but they always come up. They're very reliable. But it's good to keep your seeds because they retain the wisdom of the soil. Nature is very wise and she's very generous, and that's what I love about saving seeds. It reminds us how generous nature is. She's abundant and she's generous. You have to excuse my muddy hands now. Let's see how many of these we've got, see if we can get some numerology here, because these were all the viable beans that I got from the garden. So for me, this is kind of like confirming that it's time to get your plans ready for action. So the beans are going to be ready for planting soon. I'll have to look up when to plant them. Actually, we might have the packet over here and we can have a look. See when that's supposed to be. Welcome to my gardening section, which has my Christmas nuts on it, which I forgot to eat. Let's put those over there. I don't know if I still have my runner bean packet. Oh, I do. No, they're my broad beans. Do we still have the packet of runner beans? No, I think I planted them all. But probably going to be similar. Probably going to plant them in March. I think usually something like that. We can check. This is where I keep a lot of my gardening bits and pieces in the kitchen. I don't have a lot of them. Going to be planting oxeye daisies this year as well, and some night-scented stock because that's my favourite ever. Right. So let's give them a quick count because numerologically I think that's going to give us a message here as well. See how many we have. So I'm going to pause while I count so you don't have to count with me. You can look at Bedford while I count the beans. So, how do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Come on, look at the camera. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 32 beans, Bedford. 32 beans. What do you think of that then? 32 no, not for you. Not for you. He wants to play with them now. 32, so there's our number 32-5. So we're in the 30s. We've got the energy of number 3, the blueprint. We've also got the energy of number 2, which is about polarity. It's also the high priestess energy, so it brings wisdom, understanding of extremes, of differences, how to bring differences together. 32, let's see, so it's 2 leading the 3. So it's our knowledge and understanding of how things are different and how they can work together that actually leads the blueprint here. So it's going to be a case to be successful this year. I feel like using our knowledge of polarity, of difference, of diversity, and using that to make ourselves successful, because we do understand other people and other people's opinions, not allowing ourselves to be polarized, not allowing ourselves to take up polarizing positions against others. It's very important that we understand all viewpoints and come from a higher place of wisdom rather than allowing ourselves to fall into black and white thinking. That's the danger this year, and I think that would lead us astray. And 32 reduces to 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. So it's all about the mind, the conscious mind, the lower mind, the thinking mind. Bedford is out running around again. He's using his few brain cells. Let's see if we can zoom in on him. There he is. He's using the brain cell today. Running around outside, having a lovely time. He's all excited now because I went outside, so now he has to go outside. It is about the mind, it's about thinking, so it's about using our reason and logic here to not become so polarised and that we fall into ignorance, because I think our plans will go awry if we do. It's important to make sure we're seeing the bigger picture, working with the divine masculine and feminine as well, because with 32-5, so we have the energy of 3, which is the blueprint, we have the energy of 2, he's eating his he's biting his catnip plant now, which is currently a bit twiggy because it's the winter, but oh, here he comes. He's going to do a run. No, oh, sorry, I thought you were going to get a good view of him running around like a nutter then. Let's see, so 3 is the blueprint, 2 is polarity. It's also a very emotional number, but it's also the high priestess in the tarot, the major arcana, because we need to bring those energies in too. And it reduces to 5, which is the high priest. So we have the energy of the high priest, the high priestess, sorry about my empty IKEA boxes, and also the mind. So it's about developing our mind, I feel, for wisdom. Getting to higher levels of wisdom, just like Bedford just jumped to a high level of the fence over there. Higher levels of wisdom, high levels of understanding through logic, through reason, but also being guided by the intuition, being guided. And in a way, what I find interesting about the difference between the high priest and the high priestess in the tarot is the high priestess is very much intuition, but the high priest can be held by dogma. So it's that difference between the old dogma of religion and the intuition of spirituality, perhaps. So I think there's a challenge there for us to grow, to grow spiritually, emotionally, to stop seeing things in black and white terms and find our own peace, but also find our own truth in things as well. And I don't mean by making nonsense up. Although you can if you want to, because that's a fun experiment, but you're only fooling yourself. As long as you know that, it's okay. So 32 beans. I don't know that all of them will be viable. That one looks a bit ropey. I don't know that they will all grow, but it doesn't matter because I planted 6 last year. I planted 6. We've eaten plenty of them. And now I've got 32 to plant for next year. So it just goes to show when you plant your ideas, when you do something, it multiplies the next year. Because the nature of our reality is that it is actually abundant. We are forced into this lack mentality, this lack of abundance through restriction of our mind, our imagination, our intuition, by all of the systems and all of the people invested in those systems that hold us back. And it's so unnecessary because it keeps us from the truth of who we truly are. But the good thing is we are going through the time of the Great Awakening at the moment, so that's all about to change. So remember, nature is not restricted. Economics, I mean, just the word tells you that there aren't enough resources. And there absolutely are, because nature is abundant, she is generous, she is loving. There genuinely is enough for everybody. Bedford wants to come in the window because he can see me here, and that's not happening. No, I'm not opening the window. She is abundant, she is generous. Unlike Mummy, who won't let Bedford in the window. And there really is enough for everyone. And once we understand that and see that, that will start to become the reality that we will see. So thank you all for joining me and Bedford and my beans. And I'll see you again soon.